Hi guys, welcome back. Check out this fun faux stained glass picture that we'll be working on today. Let's begin. We're gonna go through our supplies. We've recycled. These are like folder insert divider thingamajigs that we're using in all different colors. We've got black cardstock here, a little baggie, Ziploc baggie, also our tacky glue, paper towels because we might make a mess. I've got my scissors, Sharpie, and a template with acetate right on top of it. The first thing that we do is take our Sharpie and we are actually going to trace on the acetate over all of these lines. So just take your time and trace with your Sharpie. It's important that you use a Sharpie marker because this is a permanent marker that will stay on the acetate. It won't like smudge off. So I'm just carefully going around, making sure I go over all of these lines. I really like this size of Sharpie, or you could even do something a little bit bigger too, but you would not want to do anything thinner than this. And you'll see as we get to that part why that would be important. It's almost done. And the acetate is really sticking nice to this paper. It doesn't have tape or anything on it, but what it does have is static. Okay, so I'll remove this just like that and set it aside. Look at that beautiful picture I have there in the reflection of the light. Okay. I think I'll start with orange because it's in my upper left corner, and actually I'm going to cut up the whole thing. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut up the whole thing, but as I cut it, I'm probably going to want to keep the shapes together like a puzzle piece, because I believe that'll make it a lot easier for me when I end up putting it back together. Okay, so I've got that, and then I'm going to cut each shape. This one. All right, now that I've got this cut out and I'm going to lay it on top of here, I know that I need to turn this over to have it just the opposite. We're going to glue these pieces onto here in a very special way. So it's going to be on the back side. So if we drew and traced our Sharpie marker on top like this, we're going to flip it over so it's the back side of the Sharpie marker. And that's what we're going to put all of our pieces onto. So it's just the reverse. Now, before we get started with that, I want to show you how to load your little faux piping bag. This is just a little Ziploc baggie that we have. And we're going to take our tacky glue. If you have a brand new tacky glue, you want to make sure that you cut that tip off. Please get a parent or a grown-up to help you with this because that part is a little tough. You don't want to use your best scissors. Have mom or dad, auntie, uncle help you, but you'll need to clip off that tippy top so the glue can come out. Okay, so I'm going to actually stick my glue bottle. I've already cut the top off. I'm going to stick my glue bottle down and point it as close as I can to that corner because I want the glue to go in the corner. I'm going to use my muscles. And I don't need a lot of glue. And I didn't really do that good of a job getting it into the corner, but that's okay. I'm going to make sure I get all the air out. Let me just put this down so maybe you guys can see it a little better. I'm gonna make sure I get all the air out of the bag. Put the Ziploc, close that. Have the glue in the corner. Press it down in the corner. And then twist the baggie. Maybe you guys have seen something like this before. Cake decorators use something called a piping bag, and they'll have a little hole right here, and that's where the icing releases, and you can get a really nice little line. We're going to use that same concept with the glue today on the back side of our acetate. So let's go over that one more time. You had traced it like this. I want you guys to flip it over, so we're going to work on the back side of the acetate. Now, you just need the tiniest little hole, just such a tiny little hole to let this release this glue out. So I'm barely gonna snip it, and the smaller the better because you don't want a lot of glue coming out. So just so you guys can see, look how tiny that line is. That is how tiny of a little piping line that we want. If you cut yours too big, you can just get another baggie and try it again. Okay, now a little bit's pouring out. Okay, now I will do each shape one by one. I'm gonna do a little bit of glue and pipe it around. I think I'm gonna grab a darker background so you guys can see this a little bit better. And I've got one right here. Ta-da. Might be a little busy, but you guys can see that, where my glue and how thin it is. Now, this is gonna be opposite, right? So now this red one, I'm gonna lay it right on there. And guess what? It fits right in between that black line. So cool. Now you really want to try just to get it on the black line and not in where the color is. It's okay if it does, but we're really going to try not to. Now that little baggie of mine was so clear. What did I do with that? Oh, here it is. Okay, now my next shape. Right next to it. The thinnest line. And I have enough right there. Okay, take my orange, flip it around because it's just kind of the opposite way. Press it down in there. I wonder if a pair of tweezers would be helpful. Okay, next color, and we'll just keep working our way around. Okay, and there we have it. We're gonna let this sit and dry for a little bit, and then we'll be right back. And we are back. We have let the glue dry on this side. Our pieces are down. I'm going to actually slide this away so you can see that beautiful stained glass. I'm gonna flip it over now that it's dry, and when I flip it over, it's not going to stick to my table. I do notice that some of my glue might still be a little bit wet. You know what? But it has this beautiful it looks gorgeous the way that turned out. I didn't think I had used a lot of glue when I was making my lines, but it oozed out a little. I really, really like this and how it looks. The important thing is, though, this side is dry. You will know when it's completely dry. Usually it will be clear. The glue should be clear. We are going to take this to complete our project and make a little frame out of it. We're going to actually leave a little space around here. So we've got our Sharpie line and then a little space of the acetate is kind of nice to frame this guy like that. Okay, all of my pieces are dry. I've got my frame on there and I think it looks fantastic. It is ready to go up in my window. We hope you guys enjoyed this fun project today, this faux stained glass. Hope you enjoyed learning about how to recycle some of your plastic file folders too. Take care and we'll see you next time. Bye.